Almost there. And we are live. Wonderful, wonderful. Oh, everybody, I am so excited to be hosting my newest friend and beautiful in the kitchen, making all these tasty things for us, Staci Lord here with the Enlightened Plate. And Staci, I was so looking forward to today's dish that you have cooking up for us because it's a little bit of a treat. You're going to give us a little sweet tooth here, but in the most healthiest way that you can possibly do. So I'm going to let you introduce the dish, and I think everybody's going to be drooling in a little bit here. So you go ahead and just share your beautiful sweetness.
Okay, so it's a donut, but it's a healthier donut. And the reason this came about is because, as everybody knows that knows me, I got diagnosed with Crohn's. So I needed to learn to treat myself with food, and then treat myself with food, because you need, when you're suffering, sometimes you just want something cozy and comforting. So I was doing some research, and I needed to cut the bad fats and the sugars and everything else, and sometimes you just want a donut. So I learned ways of creating things that are healthier. I wouldn't suggest eating these all the time, but it made me feel like I've got this, like I've got this. And then in learning to cook these, it made me have a new passion. So that made my mood better, and it uplifted me and created a way of feeling good. So here, I already made some. These are the caramel.
Ooh,
And that's
okay.
the recipe that's on the thingy there. But in doing these at 7 this morning, I realized this is a process, the caramel, because you're using honey and butter and all that, and it's so expensive. So I decided, let's just do a glazed chocolate.
Ooh,
Dairy free. So, all right. So I'm going to start with the recipe, and we are going to do four room temperature eggs and a 1/4 cup of grass-fed butter. If you don't use butter, I'm sure you could find something that will work just as good. And we are going to make a cream out of this. Hopefully it's not too loud.
the process, yes.
The process. They make it look so easy on all the other cooking shows. All right, so that is mixed together. Then we are going to do a 1/4 cup of warmed coconut milk.
Ooh, warm.
Canned coconut, non-GMO and BPA free. And you are going to put in your honey, 1/4 cup of honey, which is very expensive. So if you don't have honey, I think you could use agave maybe. Whatever you like to use. What do you like, Lisa?
I do like honey. Could we use maple syrup, or would that change the?
I think you could. Yeah. And you're going to put that in there, and a teaspoon of vanilla. And some apple cider vinegar.
Oh, that surprises me.
Yeah. Surprised me too. But it tastes good. All right, so we're going to whip this up again until it's well mixed. And now we get to go to the coconut flour and some salt and baking soda.
What kind of salt do you use?
This calls for sea salt.
Okay.
All righty. So we're going to put in a 1/2 cup of coconut flour. And then there is a teaspoon of the baking soda and a 1/2 teaspoon of the salt. We're going to mix that up in there. Really good. Put this over there because I have raw eggs in it.
You're making this look so easy.
All right, I'm going to just scrape down the sides here.
Could this be done if you didn't have a blender like that? Could you do it by hand, or do you really need the mixer?
I think so. You could just whisk it on up. Get some exercise in there at the same time. All right. So that is blended. Get this out of the way. And I greased my pan with some butter. That's what it calls for, but you could use coconut oil if you're not using dairy. And this is the part that cringes me. It calls for a plastic bag. Ugh.
Oh no. We'll have to ask if any of the viewers if they have options for plastic bags. Does anybody have anything they can offer us? Let's see what everybody else is using.
Yes. So we're going to put this in here. And this is a handy dandy little thing right here because you could scoop out a lot of donuts out of here that's left behind.
I'm a strong believer in spatulas myself.
Oh, yeah, this thing is amazing. It's a life changer. The perfect tools. Get this out of here. So what you're going to do now is you are going to cut a little hole. Hold it in the hard way. Hold it up this way. Make sure that the little plastic doesn't go in there.
Oh,
and
yes.
I'm going to fill our donut cups up.
That is so handy. So you're not getting your hand all goopy as you put it into the bag.
Yeah. So once this is full.
Oh, I'll just say hello to some people who are watching us. We've got Carol, hello, and Becky. Becky says it looks yummy. It does.
Yummy. All right, so we're going to put this in the oven.
Okay. Oh, no deep frying. I love these donuts.
And that's another thing I loved about it because we're going to put them in for 15 minutes or 16 because that's what mine wanted to go to. That's what I loved about this recipe too is because donuts that you buy in the shop are so yummy, but look at all the grease and the sugar, excuse me, the additives and everything else. It's like, come on. So I had to learn how to cook that way. So there is none of this in there. It's all healthy and you're in control of the salt, the sugar, and anything that you put in there. So on to the glaze. So I decided last minute, Lisa, like I told you, that I'm not going to do the caramel glaze because it's very expensive. It's very time consuming. And honestly, I didn't like really the flavor of it.
Oh, you were a guinea pig.
And I need a camera, but okay. So I have my double boiler here. I got water in the bottom. And once that starts to boil, well, I can add these are dairy-free chocolate chips.
Is it milk chocolate, semi-sweet, dark chocolate?
Dark chocolate. And one thing about these donuts too is you can add your toppings if you want some unsweetened coconut on the top or some almonds, like slivered almonds or peanuts or anything like that.
Cinnamon.
Yeah, so we got that. And I'm going to add a little bit of almond milk just to make it smooth when it starts to melt.
So just a splash.
A splash. I'm winging this.
Ah!
And I'm going to add a little coconut oil because it'll help it melt better. And it has a good flavor to it.
It does.
My recipe is called for a lot of sugar. And I don't want to add a lot of sugar because it takes away what I'm trying to do. So we're going to let that melt and stir as it does. And you can do this in the microwave too if you want. Just put some everything in there. And I think it's 10 or 15-second intervals. Stir, stir, go ahead and do it again. And I have to confess, I have donuts pre-made.
That's so handy. Staci, actually, if you wouldn't mind, if you could share with people what the double boiler is, because it is the most handiest, awesome little tool that, and everybody probably has and doesn't even realize that their pots do this.
And if you don't have one, you could just use like a metal bowl and you put some water on the bottom and it's a metal bowl. And what it does is the heat from the water helps to melt the product, so you're not burning it in a pan. So let's hope this goes well for me since I'm winging it. What's your favorite flavor of donut, Lisa?
Oh gosh. I haven't had one for so long. I used to think I like those powdered ones, but they're so messy. So I think I'm probably, I don't know, my gosh, an old fashioned.
Yes, those are so good with a cup of coffee.
Yes.
Oh, this is melting nicely. And my kitchen smells amazing.
Confectionery.
Yes, that is, right?
Yes. And we've got Mary here watching. Hello. Good morning, Mary.
Hi. Does anybody have any questions?
Any questions? Let's see here. No way. Didn't know that. I think she's talking about the double boiler. Yes, I know. Wonderful. And Sue. Hello, Sue.
All right, I've got to show you all this. So it's not hot because it's got rubber handles, but if you use a bowl, look at how yummy. Delicious.
Oh,
also, I started making these things like the treats and stuff because I wanted my whole family to hop on board the eating better train with me. And I knew my teenager at the time was not going to be into that if, he couldn't have a sweet treat because he has a sweet tooth. And I saw your show yesterday and we need to talk because he's not sleeping well because he doesn't eat well.
it all goes hand in hand. And we really have to love our food. And if you just took all the sweetness and the treats out, you wouldn't be happy.
No. You got to treat yourself sometimes and not beat yourself up if you do. And then just try to do the best option. So here you go. Look at that. That is delicious. So I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way and dip these. Now, so I got a disclosure. I accidentally used my bagel pan. So these look a lot better than the tiny little one. But this is kind of like a serving size, I suppose. So you're going to just dip, and twist. Look at that. And, you could make these on National Donut Day and feel like you can join in.
When is National Donut Day? Do we know?
Oh, no. Let's ask the audience.
Ooh, who would like to share with us? They're probably saying every day.
Yes.
And Becky is saying, licking that spoon. She's ready.
Come on, Becky. I'll send you some. All righty. So that is how simple it is to make your own donuts. Now, my mom used to make her donuts with biscuits, cut a hole in it and deep fry it. Look at me. So I've come a long way.
I can't believe how simple those were. That's amazing.
You have a healthier donut. And like I said, I wouldn't suggest them often, but on the occasion where you're really feeling like you really need something, super easy. And you can make the glaze. I just wung that. Wung it. Is that a word? I wunged it. I don't know, but it's so easy. So there you go. That's it.
And let's call it Staci Donut Day today.
And this is not my recipe for the donut. So I will post the link. It comes from another author, but I followed her in the beginning of my healing. So I love her book, It's Falling Apart. But the chocolate recipe is mine. If anybody wants it, just let me know.
Yes, the Enlightened Plate. And I love when I see donuts on this plate. This is so, Staci, how brilliant. I'm so happy that you share this with people. And it is Friday, so they can have this and kind of enjoy their weekend with an extra little treat. So Staci, what is your favorite now? Do you prefer the caramel or the chocolate?
I prefer the chocolate, but I have to be honest. My favorite donut is a maple glazed with a little bacon on the top.
Oh,
You're getting protein in it, right? So
Oh,
that's my favorite.
that. That's so honest. Well, everybody, let's just have a peek in here. We want, you know what, Becky's just hung in here. I think she's really enjoying these donuts. And we've said hello to Mary and everybody. I'm so glad when they come on to see you making this. And you've got your beautiful mug there. And oh, can you suggest a healthy beverage that would go with donuts? And we'll leave that with the viewers.
Goodness, I was thinking about that. Coffee is always a really good one. And tea, hot tea with cream. You're the tea drinker, so isn't it black tea that goes with cream?
Yes, yes. I've got chamomile. I don't think that really suits a donut, but
So I bet a chai tea. The chai tea, vanilla would go if you're not a coffee drinker. And then you can splash a little cream in there. I might try that.
I think I'm going to try that too. All right, let us know if you guys, and Becky's saying definitely dark chocolate for her topping there. But I love that. So let us know if you like chai tea, and if you make these donuts, we would love to see a picture of your version of Staci's donut and glaze.
Thank you for tuning in. And Lisa, thank you so much for being here with me today.
Oh, thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy your weekend and come back and watch Staci Lord on the Enlightened Plate over and over and over again. Okay, thanks so much, Staci.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Are we off?